let's talk about fitness on the whole. I think one thing that comes out very clearly from a story like this is the fact that fitness does not have a size. There is no size that defines it, strength defines it. Fitness does not come in different sort of shapes, it comes in power. It comes in how you build your life, lift your life as well. So let's talk to our next guest about that a little bit. Let me please bring up on stage Sohrab joining us here. Round of applause please, Sohrab. He's a coach to athletes, to celebrities, to all your everyday warriors. He's the co-founder of SoFit, and he's going to tell us how we can all be fit. Very simple question. Let me first start by asking you, how do you define fitness? I think in a generation which is so obsessed with Instagram fitness, with muscles and six-pack abs, into getting that selfie right, where celebrities define what being fit is all about, in an era of massive, massive miscommunication on health and fitness, how would you say one look at fitness across ages?
I mean, there are so many ways to look at fitness, right? For me, it's very simple. I like to keep things simple when it comes to training, when it comes to life. We've got enough issues in our life. Let's not complicate one more thing, right? Let's not add one more thing. So for me, when it comes down to fitness, and I'm talking purely fitness, I'm talking movement, I'm talking exercise, I look at it in a very simple lens. I say it is the ability to do what you want to do, when you want to do, without second-guessing yourself. She just deadlifted 80 kilos. I would call her fit.
On her fasting routine in a sari, she otherwise goes up to 112.
Yeah, so I would call her supremely fit. People look at fitness differently, right? You just said, the Instagram generation. It's all about looking a certain way. But fitness is not just looking a certain way. It is looking a certain way, moving a certain way, and performing. That's what you want to do when you want to call yourself fit. I think people focus so much on looking that they forget about performance and the way they move. Just because you have a six-pack and just because you're at 8% body fat, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will move well, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you can perform at your sport or at any other activity. So fitness for me is slightly different from the way it looks.
Yeah. We yesterday were speaking to a couple of doctors here again and some longevity experts trying to understand what longevity really means. And they all said the same thing, that it's different for different people.
Yeah.
Health and fitness is one thing where no one size can fit all.
Yeah.
Everybody's genetically designed differently, different things are to be done for them. What I'm getting at with all of this is that, is it even possible to prescribe the right kind of fitness to a generation? Is that even possible? Or are we looking at a time when we should be tracking, checking, and personalizing healthcare?
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? I look at it differently. I'm okay with tracking, but there are people who cannot handle data. Right? Can you handle the data that you get? That's an important thing.
Your sleep score making you more sleepless.
Well, causing more stress, right? I'll give you a very simple example. I train someone who's about 20 years old, 22 years old, gone to the US to college. He called me up. I said, listen, why don't you wear this tracking device? Right? Just wear it and let me track how you're sleeping, what you're doing from a fitness standpoint, and I will tailor your workouts accordingly. So he said, okay, fine, I'll wear it. 1 week into staying in the US, being in college, first week there, he comes to me and says, so, take your device back. I was like, why? He said, my mother doesn't tell me to sleep as much as this device tells me to sleep, right? So it's data. Can you handle that data? Does it make sense to you? So data in the hands of the wrong people is also not the best thing. So for me, that's important when it comes to kind of tracking devices. But that's my belief.
When we speak about longevity, I know a couple of things we already know. For example, strength, your grip, how much of body function can you really do. But the tricky part with fitness, and which is where I think most people struggle, is the fact that you might look thin, but be very unfit. You might look big, but be the fittest person in the room, according to what the doctor will say. A six-pack app does not mean that your pancreas and liver is working, at a speed that it should. So how do we even track it? What is the way to even check?
Let's link, when it comes to fitness, right? For me, strength is paramount, right? There is cardiovascular health, 100%. But strength is important. And strength is very important from a longevity perspective as well. Now, when I look at longevity, I look at quality of life rather than how long I live. So I want quality life, right? I don't want to depend on someone to take me to the bathroom. I don't want to hold 20 people back when I'm standing in a line. So that's longevity. And strength kind of plays a very, very important role. I might be off, but according to me, the most important organ in your body are your muscles, because they regulate your metabolic health, right? Now, two things that you need to look at. And I don't know whether it was touched upon, but for me, it's about grip strength, and that has been linked to dementia as well, and leg strength, right? Now, I'll link that physical strength to mental health as well, and I'll tell you why, right?
Hold on. You're saying grip strength?
Grip strength and leg
your
strength.
leg strength.
Yeah.
That determines even mental health?
It will help you from a mental health perspective,
How?
yes. Okay, so let's link this, right? You can't carry a bag. Grip strength, you can't carry a bag. You can't walk up a flight of stairs. How likely are you to go out in public? You'll be worried that I can't walk this flight of stairs, I won't go, right? Or I can't pick up this bag, so maybe I'll just stay at home. You stay at home, you stay away from society. You become antisocial in some sense, right? That starts affecting your brain because you're like, I'm not confident to go out anymore. I don't want to go out. So you isolate yourself from society. According to me, the older generation, through COVID, suffered the most because they just did not have any sort of contact with the outside world. And they were stuck. In fact, my grandmother, I think, aged a lot more through COVID than she aged when she was out and about going to college every single day, right? Yeah. So when you can't do those basic things and you're worried about everybody stopping because of you, you will stay away. And when you stay away, it starts affecting your mental health. So I link both of them.
That's a good point. But Sohrab, you're somebody who trains celebrities. Celebrities who have to fit the look. Celebrities who have to look a particular way. So it's good for you to come here in the conclave and tell us, no, looks don't matter, fitness, strength and everything. You're doing the opposite, my friend.
I'm not. Actually, what we've tried to do, and when we've trained people, is change mindsets, change lifestyles. Who's the one who said that the body has to look a certain way? It's society. We put that pressure on each other.
It's Bollywood.
Exactly. We put that pressure on each other. So don't take it away from them. They work really hard, but they also eat. They recover. They sleep. They hydrate. There's a lot of things that they do that are right. Unfortunately, we just look at the final result and say, I want to look like that. But there's a lot of work that goes into it.
You're telling me that Alia Bhatt is eating carbs at night?
Well, I was training her for the longest period, and yes, she was.
I don't know what to say to that. Okay, go on.
Listen, I think fitness is there's this misconception that you shouldn't eat food. There's a fear of food. I think you should eat.
Because Virat Kohli says that I should be drinking chicken soup and having chicken soup forever. That's the only thing he eats, apparently.
That's not what he said. But, I mean, listen, it's again, hearsay, right? We don't know how they live their lifestyle. We don't know what they do. We don't know how they sleep. There's a lot of things they do correctly, but we don't see it. So we go with what we see on social media, which honestly, 99... Okay, I'll ask you this question. Ask anyone here this question. How much of your real life do you put up on social media? You don't. You don't. Do you tell people how sad you are every single day? No, there's only a picture of you in some beach resort smiling. Right? I'm not saying you, I'm saying generally. Right? So don't believe everything you hear on social media.
Don't believe the celebrities. Don't believe the Instagram doctors. Don't believe what that person on Instagram tells you. I lost 60 kgs in 6 months. This is how you can do it too. Who do you believe? We live in an era where the most abused information is the one on health and wellness.
Agreed.
There is so much of conflicting information. Should I IVF or should I do intermittent fasting or not do intermittent fasting? Should I take a GLP-1 or should I not take a GLP-1? Should I have roti? Should I have rice? We live in an era we just don't know what is right. Do you have a hack on tracking or knowing who's the fraud and who's saying the right thing?
Anyone who gives you a hack and gives you a shortcut, to me, is a fraud. Because you got to keep things simple, you got to work, you got to stay consistent. According to me, when it comes down to training or it comes down to anything, it's consistency that beats everything else. So keep things simple, stay consistent, and you will be successful. Anyone who tells you that they're going to make you lose 5 kilos in a week, don't believe them.
Okay, time's up already, but very quickly, I want to understand from you. If you had to leave us with 5 tips on good health, at the risk of oversimplifying it across a room of people which are divided on gender, age, ethnicity, and the whole of it, give us 5 tips.
Wow. Strength train 2 to 3 times a week. Move as much as possible. I think we're a generation that sits a lot. We've all sat. I don't know the last time anyone here got up. So move. Eat whole food. Don't be afraid of food. And that includes your carbs, right? I'm a huge protein fan. I think protein is very, very important, and people are scared of protein because they believe it's going to affect their kidneys. It does not. Unless you have an pre-existing problem, it does not. And one thing that everybody ignores, sleep.
Let that sink in, and here's wishing everybody a very good evening and an even better sleep tonight. Thank you so much, Sohrab, for being here and sharing all those tips. And of course, to Rita ji as well for being here earlier. Thank you so much.
Thank you.